welcome to another practice drawing page. The first one I did another Charles Bargue plate practice drawing of the foot, and it actually turned out better, except for I did it in really harsh sunlight, and so my camera did not actually pick up on it. So that's what the first few seconds of this video was. And then I moved on to one of the hand plate drawings, plate 1,16, and it's basically doing the same thing exactly as I did on the other plate drawings, and what I learned from Julia Aristides' basic drawing book is to do a simplified outline using just straight lines of the shape so that I can get my measurements and proportions down, and then I kind of go back and curve out some of the lines just to get an idea of what I'm looking at, and try to go back and fix any proportions that are immediately and obviously looking wrong to me. Although here I've foreshortened the thumb and I've made the pinky a little bit more arched, and also the arm is not quite the same. It's a much bigger woman's arm. And then the rock is also a little shorter, but that's not really a problem at all. And then from there, once I get the proportions to looking like what I want them to look like, I go in and I outline the straight lines, the shadows, and then I fill all of that in with one single just wash of a mid-tone shadow. And then from there, I shade things in and I start to darken it and refine my shadows. You can see that I erased one of my cast shadows, and that actually did not make for a very good shading practice there. What I should have just done is just shaded it and dark enough to where it absorbed my line for my cast shadow. And then I just kind of go back and refine that a little bit more. I darken up where the cast shadow is going to be before I actually start refining my shadow in other areas, which I highly recommend, because with shading, especially the human body, it's never like an even going from like 100% gradient to 90 to 80 to 70, 60, 50, and so on and so forth. It's more like going from like 100% gradient to 80% gradient to then 60% to then like 20 to 0. So it's nice to get a really, really dark shadow, and then drastically and dramatically work your way down into the highlight, which is like 0% shading. So you can see that's actually what takes the longest for any drawing. And then once again, I started to finish my drawing in the bright, harsh sunlight, and you can barely see it. I had to really adjust the colors here to even be able to see it at all, and I shortened the video time a lot because it's kind of frustrating to not be able to see all of that. It's not very transparent. And I don't do my darkest darks until the very end, because if I start with those, I will then end up shading something else as my darkest, and I can't get any darker, and then all of a sudden my darkest dark is the same wash of shading as something that should really be just one of my dark midtones. So that's why the rock and that shadow under the hand come absolutely last, because those are my darkest darks. And overall, I think it actually did pretty well. Please let me know in the comments if you agree. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe.